presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Next presenter is Mr. Kang So-kwon. He's working for Doosan. Doosan is, you're probably familiar with Doosan. Used to be the #1 player in thermal technology. Now they are very active in ours. Please welcome Mr. Kang.
Professors and distinguished guests, good afternoon. It is my great privilege and pleasure to introduce the success cases of Doosan Heavy Industries and Construction here in the Middle Eastern desalination market. At Doosan Heavy Industries and Construction, our vision is to become a global leader in power and water. Founded in 1962, we have 55 years of operation in the global market, and our business portfolio divides into 5 major segments. They include nuclear power generation, EPC and construction solutions, power equipment, including boilers and turbines, casting and forging, as well as water solutions, which I represent today. And all of our businesses are mainly supported by our overseas subsidiaries located in countries including the United Kingdom, the United States, Germany, Romania, India, Vietnam, as well as Japan. So the water business group's business portfolios are supported by overseas subsidiaries mainly located in the US, Doosan Hydro Technology, the UK, Doosan Impure, as well as the Doosan Vina manufacturing facilities in Vietnam. And we provide solutions in desalination, waste water treatment, water systems and components, as well as operation and maintenance. And I would like to particularly highlight, our strengths in desalination. We are currently the only water solution provider in the world at the moment that offers proprietary technologies for all of the 3 main processes of desalination. They include multi-stage flash, MSF, multi-effect distillation, MED, as well as reverse osmosis, RO. So, traditionally known as the powerhouse in the thermal desalination market, we have significant references in both MSF as well as the MED markets. One of the example would be the Yanbu Phase 3 MSF plant that we have executed for SWCC of Saudi. And the plant itself features the world's largest multi-stage flash evaporator, which creates more than 91,000 cubic meters of fresh water per day out of one single evaporator. And in the MED sector, we have the Yanbu Phase 2 expansion MED plant, who features world's largest multi-effect distillation distiller, and the single unit capacity out of the plant is more than 68,000 cubic meters of water per day. And also, depending on the client needs, driven by fluctuations in seasonal or regional variations, we also offer a configuration of hybrid plants. So that would mean including combining the membrane RO solution with either MSF or MED. One great example is the Ras Al Khaimah Phase 1 hybrid desalination plant located in Saudi Arabia. And upon completion, it's said to be the world's largest desalination plant. And the plant's capacity is more than 1 million cubic meters of fresh water per day. In the reverse osmosis sector, we are also currently the market leader here in the GCC region. First example that I would like to highlight is the Busan Gijang RO desalination plant. We have completed the plant, and it is Korea's very first large-scale desalination plant for municipal use. And this plant is set to produce more than 45,000 cubic meters of fresh water per day. And in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, once again, we have delivered the Jeddah Phase 3 RO project, and it is the largest RO desalination plant in the Middle East at the moment. And this plant alone is producing more than 240,000 cubic meters of fresh water per day. And also, all the way over in Chile, we have supplied the Escondida water supply project on our plant for the largest mining operation within the region by BHP Billiton of Australia. And it's also the largest desalination plant in South America, producing more than 215,000 cubic meters of fresh water per day. We also take care of the plants that we build by providing flexible O&M services. Our strengths in O&M really comes from accumulated commissioning experiences over the last 30 years. And also we provide flexibility for our clients by becoming a unified channel of EPC and O&M contractors. So for the Ministry of Electricity and Water in Kuwait, we were the EPC provider for Kuwait's very first RO desalination plant, Shuaik RO, and the client entrusted us to provide an operation and maintenance services for them on a 4.5-year O&M contract. Also, going back to Ras Al Khaimah, we are currently providing 5.5-year O&M services for the client SWCC. And also, back in Busan, we are currently negotiating the terms of a 20-year O&M contract with the Busan Metropolitan City Government. So if you could kindly refer to the map here, which is also available in the Korea Water exhibition, we have provided more than 25 plants desalination on an EPC basis, and we are currently the largest water producer in the GCC market, providing water for 20 million people on a daily basis. Some of our efforts in R&D, the Doosan Water Business Group alone is operating 4 R&D centers located in Dammam, Saudi Arabia, Seoul, as well as Changwon in Korea, and Birmingham, the United Kingdom. Each of these centers has its own set of R&D topics depending on the regional and the client needs. And one particular example I would like to highlight is the Dammam R&D Center in Saudi Arabia. Given the regional specific needs, we are specifically concentrating on development of thermal desalination technology out of this center. So I would like to highlight this case as a successful example of joint R&D initiatives between a government client and a private company. So given the fact that Saudi Arabia is the largest desalination solution adopter in the market, they have the strongest drive to develop and enhance their desalination technologies and platform. So we have been called back on numerous occasions to cooperate with SWCC as well as the DTRI R&D Center under the management of SWCC, as well as King Saud University to co-develop many of the thermal desalination as well as other RO or wastewater treatment technologies. And we still have a lot of ongoing agreements with the entities and the government authorities there, and we are really looking to further develop such relationships and contribute further to the enhancement of the water infrastructure here in the GCC, as well as any parts of the world. So from feasibility studies to EPC as well as operation and maintenance services, we are a one-stop house when it comes to water solutions. And we are also aggressively participating in BOT as well as PPP projects. And one great example would be our participation in the Red Sea Dead Sea project to be tendered by the Ministry of Water and Irrigation here in Jordan. And we really look forward to providing the most competitive solution on behalf of our consortium as well as for the government here. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and I would like to also personally thank Professor Seung-Hyun Kim for making this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kang. The last presenter is Dr. Ryan Frook. He's the director of Jordanian Water and Wastewater Association. He's going to talk, I believe he's going to talk about how we utilize Dead Seas. Okay, please welcome Dr. Frook.
This one is pointer. This one is backward. Okay. So this one to move. This one?
No, this,
This
one,
one
is
to
move.
move, yeah.
This one is
Go
backward.
backward. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Luay Frouk. I am a water consultant and director of the Jordanian Water and Solid Waste Reuse Organization. Actually, I would like to start because most of the presenters before me, they're talking about what they offer to the Arab region and to Jordan. And it seems they have a lot of expertise in the desalinations and RO and PRO systems, which we are looking forward to utilize such expertise from these companies. But before that, I would like to thank the Water Business Forum organizers for offering me this opportunity to talk to you and give you some idea about our region. Actually, I worked through my career in this region in several countries. I worked in Jordan, Palestine, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and recently in some of the North African countries. And through my work career in these countries, we worked on developing several water strategies in these countries as advisor to the water ministries in such countries. And the common thing between most of these countries that due to the high demand, the tendency now to go forward and to move forward with the non-conventional solutions to meet the demand or the increased demands. Now, there is differences between these countries. Some of these countries, they afford to go to desalination. As we heard from the previous presenters, they have several projects in the GCC countries where they have the energy source to afford the RO solutions to meet their demand. But other countries still reluctant to enter into desalination systems or these solutions because they are afraid of the high cost of the energy they're going to face in using such an alternative or an option to meet their demands. But the good news, we are hearing now from the technology, the advanced technology, the research organizations or institutions, there is some work now to reduce the energy cost and to find some other alternatives to make the cost affordable for such countries. For example, I worked in Jordan in 1990 to develop the water strategy for Jordan, or the water authority at that time. And at that time, we never thought about desalination. We will put options, desalination is out of context at that time, because country like Jordan, they don't have the energy sources to make it affordable and feasible to supply such source of water to meet the demands or the increasing demand. But nowadays, we are facing the real challenge and the big problem. We have a tremendous amount of increased demands, high pressure on the resources, very limited resources, so we have to think seriously about how we're going to meet, or how we're going to enter the desalination era with this limited, for example, energy sources. Everybody, I think, knows about the Red Dead Canal system or strategic projects in Jordan, where we're going to, for example, try to pump the water from the Red Sea in the southern part of the country to the Dead Sea, as you see here, through a water carrier system. And through this water carrier system, we're gonna, because there is a difference in elevations, the water will be pumped to a certain stage somewhere here, for example, and by gravity, it's gonna flow to the Dead Sea from there. Once the water flows to the Dead Sea, there is a big difference in head, so we can use that head to generate, for example, electricity to help us, to provide us with a source of energy to minimize or reduce the cost of the desalination option. In phase one, we are targeting to treat about 60 million cubic meter, which is underway. This project right now is underway, actually. We've been asked as a consultant recently to start studying, for example, what are the options to minimize the energy cost in addition to generating electricity due from the difference or the variance in the head. We have to look to other also options, because we have a unique problem here, or a unique case, where we have the Dead Sea. You know, the Dead Sea salinity 10 times more than the seawater. We have brine water which can be flown to the Dead Sea as well, and we have seawater certain stage in the future as well, because we need to recover, at least to stop the drop in the water level in the Dead Sea, to protect the Dead Sea. So we're gonna discharge the brine and seawater in the Dead Sea. So we have 3 types of water. We have seawater, we have brine water, and we have Dead Sea water. It's a unique opportunity to start thinking and utilizing this opportunity to utilize energy from this kind of water through the PRO system. So the guys who talked about Dead Sea and the technology we have, the Jordanian government is thinking to utilize the PRO systems and start investigating this option to see how far we can go with this option to generate electricity or to minimize the cost of the desalination. As everybody knows, right, this PRO system now been applied in several countries, but the scale, it's not on the market scale. I mean, there is no cases, most of the cases shown in the literature or in everywhere in the world talking about fresh water, the salinity of the water being used for the PRO system is different from the case we are showing here in Jordan. So what we need from the technology and from the companies now is to study this unique case, because looking to this problem, we noticed that there may be some challenges and some problems related to the membrane permeability. And the technology should help us in putting some options here, how we're gonna solve this problem once we applied the PRO system in the Dead Sea case. We would like to see more of the knowledge gained by these companies, especially the previous presenters, about their work experience in the Gulf or around the world, how they're gonna handle such case. Because the permeability of the membrane is one of the main or the big challenges we are facing. For example, as you can see here, there is, let's go here. Yeah, we're talking about, for example, we can get energy from this PRO system. And for example, we can, like, for example, especially in the Dead Sea, right, you see the salinity. There's another example, for example, in Iraq, which is the Sawa Lake in Iraq, similar. We have 15.8%. This is another case in the region, right? And there is several other cases facing similar situation. What we need is to investigate this option thoroughly in order to apply it to the Jordanian case. And this is what we are hoping from the expertise of the Korean companies to help the Jordanian government in this. We are now in the process of preparing like a white paper on the POR option. It is feasible, not feasible, how far we can go with it. We're gonna provide a recommendation to the Ministry of Water in Jordan before May this summer, right? And hopefully, we will come back to you guys to give us some feedback on this so we can include it in our recommendation to the ministry. If this is a feasible solution, we can go forward with it. Let's consider it, and it will be an opportunity for the Korean governments to interfere here and provide their help and support in this regard, and maybe later we'll expand to other countries like Iraq when the situations improves over there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Falk. With that, we have our presentation heard. So now I invite the panelists, Professor Song and Professor Hong, and Dr. Falk. Dr. Falk, please. Dr. Falk, please. Yeah. So we'll just hear from these panelists few words about their research projects, or just how we promote cooperation between Arabic world and careers and seawater examination. I just asked Professor Hong to start the discussions.
Thank you very much. I'm S.K. Hong. I'm a professor at Korea University. Also, I'm a research director of Korea and UAE collaborative research project regarding low energy seawater desalination plant. Even though I'm a panelist, I prepared one of presentation PPT file that I can share my view and Korean view on future desalination plant. Okay, let's start. The future seawater desalination plant, I think we need to consider some of the paradigm shift that we experienced last 10 or 20 years. The first, one water concept. We used to use fresh water resources. However, now these days, we experience huge drought and water shortage all over the world. So we try to integrate all those water resources available to us, including wastewater, and also seawater, and desalination project, and also water reuse project. Those are the two options that we have to explore for the future. And however, desalination project is still very energy intensive process.